Welcome to Lunch Break with D.Bishop. Thanks for tuning in. This is the first episode of 2024, so Happy New Year. Last episode, I talked about God's gifts and that we were all given different gifts, but the same Spirit, different ministries, but the same Lord. And in my verse, I said that many deceivers will have the world duped, giving up the birthright like Esau for soup. So I want to expand on that a little bit today. Starting in Genesis 25:29 through 33, it says, "Once when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came in from the field exhausted. He said to Jacob, 'Let me eat some of that red stuff, because I'm exhausted.' So as we look further, Jacob replied, 'First sell me your birthright.' 'Look,' said Esau, 'I'm about to die, so what good is a birthright to me?' Jacob said, 'Swear to me first.' So he swore to Jacob and sold his birthright to him. Then Jacob gave bread and lentil stew to Esau. He ate, drank, got up, and went away. So Esau despised his birthright." Now, when we look at birthright, it's a particular right of possession or privilege one has from birth. Much like this story, this is especially common in the eldest child. So we see here Esau gave up that birthright, that right of possession, to have, to own. Can you imagine being that weak, being that exhausted, that you would give up a prized possession, a promise that was intended specifically for you? Well, there's times in life when we face different challenges that will cause us to be in an area of being weak, being burdened, being fatigued. And you may even feel like you can't go on. And if you're not careful, you could allow this to distract or distort your perception. Also, there's outside forces that operate in this deception that could rob you of your blessing. So if we look further in the story of Esau and Jacob, we will have another example of that as now we continue as we look to Genesis 27. At this time, their father Isaac was old, so weak he couldn't see and wasn't sure how much longer he had. He asked his son Esau to grab his gear and go hunting to fix him a meal. A meal that he loved, so that as he eats, so then he could bless him before he dies. Rebekah heard this, and she conjured up a plan for Jacob to deceive his dad and receive the blessing intended for his brother. Fixing his own meal that his mother, helped him with, wearing Esau's clothes and putting goat skins on his hands to resemble his brother's hands. Isaac, being deceived, blessed Jacob instead. So not only did Esau lose his birthright, he lost his blessing. In this, his blessing was stolen. Much like this example in Scripture, God has a blessing over our lives, a right of possession, meaning it's something that is meant for you, a particular thing that's specifically intended for you, a purpose, a plan, a promise. And if it's for you, you can't allow anyone or anything to steal it from you. You must walk in what God has intended for you, the promise that is over your life. So God bless you. Check you out next week.